of the results. We just have to do it with our sensory organs to understand what audience we have. So I'll start with the first. I will do one example. Are you in Delhi right now? That's it. You don't have to say anything. You just have to clap with that. ये- मैं अगर बैठ के करूँ तो हो जाएगा ठीक से, बट ये ऑफ किया आपने सब. Okay. Okay, so first question, are you learning German? Okay, so we have a few people who are learning German. Are you planning to study in Germany or work in Germany? Okay, there are some people who are interested in migration. Are you a German language teacher? Okay, we have a few teachers as well. Have you visited Germany? Okay, there are many who have already visited Germany. And in general, are you interested in German culture like movies, music? I'm not going to say food, but yeah, there are others who are interested in other parts of German culture. So, with this, I'm quickly going to introduce the panelists. We have Dr. Vibha Surana. She is a senior professor and head of the department at University of Germany. She has a significant contribution in the entire German language field, especially when it comes to training the German teachers. Then we have Mr. Kiefer, Mr. Thorsten Kiefer, who is the CEO of DEFA. DEFA is a German agency for international healthcare workers. And we have Mr. Bruno Carlesso, who is the head of international business development with TELC. So we have the three guests who bring the expertise in three completely different fields. So the discussion is going to be exciting. And with this, we can directly start. I hope it's okay to switch on all the microphones. सब on कर सकते हैं? Okay. Okay. So I'm going to ask the first question to. So I'm going to ask the first question to Dr. Surana. Recently, there was an article in Süddeutschland Zeitung which said that there are more than 200,000, that's more than 2 lakhs students are there in India who are learning German. So in general, this trend, we also have a few students here who are learning, but there are some who might be here mainly because they want to start learning German. So I want to start with very basic question. Can you just explain us how many levels are there? How long does it take to learn German? And also, I would like to ask you about the role of media and digital tools in learning German, because in the current age, there might be some students learning German from a YouTube channel, for example. So, can you just elaborate on that?
Yeah, so first of all, I will begin with the 2 lakh, the statistics that you gave about the number of students learning German in India. It's on the conservative side, I would say, because in the last about 10 years, there are private institutions mushrooming, and we counted, like, apart from the conventional ways to learn, institutions who teach German, universities, colleges, Goethe Institute or Max Müller Bhavan. There are private institutions now, and that's a, I mean, very, very interesting development. We counted in 2021 itself about 90 private institutions in Mumbai. So those, how many are learning there? Nobody knows. So I'm just saying that it's a conservative number. And in comparison to the requirement of Germany about for about 4 lakhs, 400,000 skilled workers every year, it's not much.
Still a
But
less,
of
yeah.
course, they would want it from all over the world and not just from India. With respect to the levels, in terms of, I think we need to get out of the mindset, learn German, learn Hindi in 5 minutes, in 30 days. We are a plurilingual society with so many different languages, and we think we are very proud of being multilinguals. However, we need to also understand that when we are learning a new language, particularly a foreign language like German, French, whatever, Spanish, you need more than 800 to 1000 hours of learning German. There are standardized levels, language proficiency levels: A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, C2. So beginners, intermediate, advanced levels. And that perception is somehow not there in the country, I believe. So that one has to understand. And in terms of the last point regarding the digital tools and apps, I would regard them as a supplement to doing actual language courses with some teacher, so that actual communication takes place. Yeah, they are welcome. We also ourselves offer at the University of Mumbai online courses in German where different tools are used, and during the week we give different exercises on digital tools. But we view it as supplementary, because whatever language apps I know, they are somewhat superficial where learning is concerned.
So they cannot replace the teacher. And next time when you come across an advertisement, learn German in 30 days, just be sure that it's not the way German could be learned. Okay, so with this, we want to go to Mr. Kiefer. So we spoke about how to learn German, what levels are there, and you are currently working in the migration of healthcare professionals. I would like to know. Obviously, language is one of the aspects here, but what other challenges are there in the entire migration process of nursing professionals?
The first challenge is the language training. I have to mention that because I completely agree. To learn German properly, to speak properly, needs about 800 to 1000 hours in classroom teaching. Maybe online, maybe face to face, but this is necessary. This is a very long process. Even if you do that in a full-time course, you need several months to complete your B1 or B2 levels. And so it needs a lot of effort to get the exams. And then when you come to Germany, you will face the problem that in Germany we have several regions, so you always have a slight dialect people use. So this is the first thing all migrants experience in Germany. Maybe the German your neighbors speak is not exactly the same you learned in the language school. This is completely normal. I come from southwest Germany. We have a very strong dialect. So and then to integrate into society, most of the migrants have to do some professional exams, especially in the healthcare professions. You have to do an adaptation exam, and these exams are conducted entirely in German. So you have to follow the classes, nurses, doctors, and so on, and you have to do the exam in German. And so it's not only learning the language to some level, it's also learning the terms of your profession to be able to conduct an exam, and after the exam to work in your profession. So this is a very long-term project to work in a healthcare profession in Germany.
Okay, thank you so much. And with this, we are talking about learning language, we're talking about migration, and we are using the terms like A1, A2, B1, B2. These are the language certificates. And with this, I would like to come to Mr. Carlesso. TELC is into language certifications, and I would like to know what trends do you observe in the demand of German language certifications, mainly of the skilled workers?
Yeah. co- So concerning Indian, that's the case that I'm gonna take here as an example. So we have noticed and been noticed a high demand, yeah, of certificates, German certificates concerning, especially concerning skilled worker to Germany. Yeah, that has been part due to the bilateral agreement between Indian and the German government to make plausible the accessibility from
Keep the mic a little closer.
so the accessibility of migrant workers to go to Germany. So based on that, yes, there has been a higher demand, of course. Yeah, we are analyzing the trends, and that's why we are trying to get into the Indian market with a, with a the right footprint, yeah, in order to offer those certificates for to Indian skilled workers trying to go to aspiring, let me put it that way, aspiring to go to Germany.
Okay, thank you. So having talked about learning, migration, levels, certifications, one of the very important aspect of all of this is teachers, because you need 4 lakhs qualified workforces. You have more than 200,000, you have more than 2 lakhs people learning German. Who is teaching them? No? So I would like to ask Surana about this. So we need teachers. So I would like to know what are the key aspects of basic German educational training. So training the teachers, and how can it be improved to support the learners better?
I would like to start with the institutional framework that we have for training teachers of German as a foreign language. So there are two major institutions which are doing this teachers training for German teachers. One is the Goethe Institute or the Max Müller Bhavan. And as per the statistics of 2021, they brought out about 20 to 25 teachers, trained 20 to 25 teachers. The other place where teachers training is happening for German is other universities. And I must confess that out of the 500 odd public universities, only 16 have a bachelor's, master's, PhD program where teachers training, and not all of them are offering teachers training. Some There used to be a time about 2 decades ago where all university teachers were getting trained as teachers of German as a foreign language at Hyderabad. There used to be a diploma in postgraduate teaching of German as a foreign language, but then it stopped. And university teachers think, okay, we have done our masters, we have done our PhD, and we can now teach German. And I think it's a big fallacy and a myth. One has to go through proper teachers training, but thankfully there are some centers, some universities like the Pune University, in University of Mumbai, which are offering very rigorous teachers training for German as a foreign language as a part of their master's program. We also have an agreement with the Goethe Institute, so we are working together there. Also, we started 3 years ago also at the bachelor's level teachers training, because once you attain the B2 level, you have the potential. Regarding what can be done to improve the scenario of teachers training, I would say that more universities need to take it up, and not just take it up as a course and just teach theory, or very, very, being in the ivory tower of a university and just say, okay, we don't want to look at the ground reality practice. So one has to be, we are thinking of offering a postgraduate diploma in teachers training very soon. And because there is a demand from school teachers from North India, a lot of demand, which is coming to us, and we are taking it seriously. Yeah.
Great. So another tip for all of you, when you join a German course, make sure that your teachers has teachers training. Like, no, any kind of course that they have attended, it's not enough to just know German to teach, right? Great. So with this, we move ahead. We talked about levels, we talked about certifications. Let's move ahead. Let's say that the skilled workers learn German from qualified teachers and went to Germany. So my question is next to Mr. Kiefer again. How is it possible to ensure the smooth workplace migration or even cultural migration for that matter, for the, because we spoke about language, we spoke about dialect as well, but I'm sure there is a lot more than that that needs to be worked on. And even as DEFA, what role do you play and what do you think is important in that aspect of migration?
Yeah, it is a very important aspect, not only to learn the language. You also have to learn something about the culture in Germany and the behavior of the German. You know, German can be very crazy. You faced it yourself when you migrated to Germany. There are some typical behaviors. For example, if you migrate to work in any profession in Germany, the first thing you will experience is that Germans make a big separation between working life and private life. So it will need some time until you have some private contacts. This is not because your colleagues are mad at you. This is normal in Germany. And you have we in Germany we have the du and the sie, so a very formal approach to speak to each other and a very more private approach. You will see that in offices in Germany, there are people working to get closely together for 30 years, and they say Sie and Mr. and Mrs. and don't use the first name in any conversation. So this might be very formal, and in your private life, you have to get along with uh, how to share the work in if you work in an apartment house. Labor is expensive in Germany, so you will probably live in an apartment house where there's no service to clean everything up. Every apartment has a turn to clean the staircase or something like that, and this you have just it not a big thing, but you have to know it and to get used to it.
Yeah,
Like,
may I add to that?
huh?
May I add to that?
Yes, please, please.
So I had a very interesting experience after all my masters and PhD in Germany. In German, I was in Germany, and just to share with you that I mean this lack of very very contemporary, very very day to day knowledge about culture can lead you to difficulties. So I had the host family professors, and they on my when I was leaving their house, I was living with them. They gave me a gift. Now, as Indian children are taught that okay, when you have birthdays, you get gifts, but wait for the guests and then you open the gifts. And I said thank you, and I put my present in my bag, and I left. And the wife said, "Oh, we were very hurt. You didn't even open the gift. You're supposed to open the gift immediately and express the joy and thank profusely." And this, I just a little joke. I mean, yeah, this is.
I completely agree. This is one of the things that, like, for example, when you come to India, for example, my son, when somebody gives gifts, he is now used to open them directly, which is not very, like, because he's small, people are okay, nobody says anything to him. But I think that's one of the differences that we really have to understand. And there are many such experiences that the people who migrate. So basically, it's not like you can't prepare for everything. Only thing is you have to prepare the openness that you will learn some things new and you have to understand them as a different, not as good or bad, but as different, and you need to, you know learn to live with that. With this, I would also like to ask again to Dr. Surana, what is the role of universities when it comes to this entire preparation for migration? Because we spoke about differences. So, how do you think? Because a lot of university students go to do their further studies in Germany, or maybe especially when you have master programs in Germany, there are many students who directly then get a job in Germany, for example. So, how do you think universities play a role in preparing the students for these cultural differences?
I think, yeah, we do play a major role because language and culture are integral. You know, you cannot separate them. And Landeskunda, as it is called, the cultural studies or cultural information, as it was traditionally called. So very often it begins with the informative side, how many states and history and society. But I think where we have a little bit of a gap is the actual contemporary German society, communicative, Landeskunda, communicative and intercultural. And even if we go for intercultural, there again there is a serious problem, because our cultural Kulturwissenschaftler, as you would say, are very, very skeptical of stereotypes. So the moment you open your mouth, okay, German society is like this, then you get into the very, very treacherous domain, very slippery domain of creating stereotypes. And so we have to, and there are theories now in even German as a foreign language, which are saying, okay, why intercultural? You have to go for discursive Landeskunda and all that. But I strongly believe that intercultural competence is very, very important. And we have to keep our feet on the ground at the university and teach. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you. So with this, I want to ask a question to Mr. Kale. So before I ask my question, I would like to request you to talk a little bit about TELC. What all do they do? Because I'm sure the audience is not aware about what TELC does. So maybe you can talk about that, and then I'll move ahead to my question.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point. So basically, we are exam providers. Yeah, that's the main core of the business that we got established. Yeah, so different from the Goethe Institute. Now, the Goethe Institute is a branch of the German Foreign Affairs Ministry, right? So we are a consortium of high schools, I would say high schools consortium within Germany, yeah, to deliver a German exam in the past mostly concerned migrants, right? So in this sense, we work together a lot with the German Ministry of Migration, right? So based on that, we developed our own tests, which were very popular in within Germany, but not internationally. That's what the approach that we have seen due to the lack of skilled labor in Germany to internationalize our operations, right? So based on that, we also, besides the exams, we had a publishing house, yeah. So for our own textbooks, yeah, also to qualify the students to take our exams, as well as a training qualification for teachers, yeah. So I'm going to go to the point of Dr. Surana concerning the role of universities and the Goethe Institute in India concerning the training of and qualifying the German teachers, right? At this level, concerning the Indian market, we are a newbie, right? We are. Yeah, so we want to establish our footprint to come here, not only with the German exams, right, but as well as with our textbooks. We have good partners in Germany working together to make our textbooks accessible in the Indian market, right? And also to bring the training qualifications of teachers, yeah, in India to a next to a next level that doesn't compete with Goethe. That's not what we aim at, but that supplements it. Right? We see the demand that we're talking, the demand not only for learning German for the student base, but also there is a huge lack of training qualification from German teachers in India. Yeah, so we want to also to implement in that, right? So basically, we are whole provider of those three elements: training, qualification, yeah, textbooks, and of course that is our main focus, German exams.
Yeah, great. So you have almost answer my question as well. But then maybe if we are talking about TELC exams, so where we can write TELC exams in India, uh, for that I would just quickly would like to invite all of you to the stand of Goyals. After this, we have still some time, but after this discussion, I would like to invite you to stand of Goyal Publications, which is the stall G1, and there you will get to see our books. There you will get to see a lot of other publications that Goel has, and you will also get to take this list of exam centers of TELC in India.
May I add to what
Yes, please.
you said? No, you were saying something. So, this TELC or the European Language Certification is one of the requirement. I mean, when you are going to Germany, either for higher studies or for a job, you need very often a German language proficiency certificate. And for that, Goethe Institute is one, Max Muller one, but the European language certification is another certification which is accepted by the visa department, by various German firms and universities, and the recognition is there. So I just wanted to add this little bit.
Yeah, and just to another point in this regard is also we have analyzed the patterns of German exams in Indian, right, and seen that it's very difficult for an Indian candidate to get an exam, a German exams to go abroad, either to study or to work, right? So in this sense, I've seen cases that a candidate finished its courses, right, and then wait 3, 4, 5 months, yeah, in a queue in order to get a place to take an exam in order to go to German. So in this case, what we see is employers in Germany, then when the candidate arrives, think that the candidate didn't learn German. Yeah, but when you take 3, 4 months to take after the course to take an exam, yeah, and also you need the bureaucratic way, yeah, the paperwork to get into Germany, yeah, then it's already 8 months gone. Yeah, the time that you arrive to work, yeah, you have lost some of your German skills. Yeah, so we at Telk, yeah, entering as a newcomer at the market here is the main goal would be to democratize German exams as much as we can, yeah, to make it accessible for everyone in every corner to take a German exam, either to go to German to work there, but of academic purpose or as an interest, yeah, can be a school, yeah, so children can take German exams and they have a certificate, yeah. So the main idea is to break this elitism, yeah, of learning German and democratize it. Yeah, that's one main goal.
Great. Thank you so much. So we know a little bit more about TELC also and a lot about learning German in India. Now we are going to move to Q&A. And I would actually like to start with my first question, and that is to Mr. Kiefer. So we spoke about cultural integration, and we spoke a lot about what experiences one would have on a day-to-day basis. But we are talking about skilled worker migration. We are talking about migration for work. So I would like to ask you if you can give a few tips for people who are willing to work in Germany of some workplace culture, which is very important to adhere in Germany. And now you've been working with a lot of Indian workers. So what are the tips that you would like to give to them?
Okay, the first thing is always for healthcare workers, very important, always be on your shift on time. This is very important. Because your colleagues, for example, if you have the first shift in the morning, your colleagues from the night shift want to hand over and go home. So they will be very angry if you always come too late to the shift. This is very, very important. And then this is really this. If you have meetings in Germany, try to be really on time. Um, so this is not only a saying that German
Can I add to that?
have a so strong link to that. Um, and then but working in Germany is not as it's not a big deal. If you come there, there's a very big advantage of the Indian people. Indian people are educated to be respectful and friendly to everyone, and this is a big advantage of of the Indian people. Because if you come somewhere, if you don't understand a question or a discussion, and just ask with a smile, and everybody will help you. So this just be for Indian people, this is very easy to go along there.
Okay. Yeah. And Dr.
And I
Surana?
just wanted to add, he said, yeah, being punctual is important, but he also said when you're coming for a meeting, So the research shows that if you're going for a meeting with Germans, plan very, very meticulously for the meeting beforehand
Yeah.
if you want the meeting to have positive outcome, because if you go without preparation, it might not be that successful. So just a tip that we learned in the cultural.
Great. Yes. So I agree, and I agree. So um, with this, I would like to open the floor for questions. If you have any questions or if you want to share any experiences, there are some German teachers here. There are some people who are already learning German. If you want to add something, you want to ask questions, please feel free. I'll just come down.
Good afternoon. I am Jitendu. I represent Steinbeis Foundation in India to Steinbeis India. There's an organization based out of Stuttgart. It has an technology and knowledge transfers part as well as academic part. There is Steinbeis University based out of Berlin. Now, coming to talking, this question is to Dr. Mr. Kiefer. You are working with the healthcare professionals in India and focusing on migration. Now, Germany on the other side is looking at immigrants coming across from all across the world, and there's no choice for Germany. Now, yes, the intercultural part, what I'm talking of is uh, as Indians or other countries are trying to adapt to German culture, is there some serious thought being given on the other side? Because you will be having a lot of different countries pouring into Germany and with different set of cultures. So, is there some thought process of sensitizing the employers over there to handle the other side of culture? Because that's also a German need.
Okay, I didn't get the question completely. That's why I had to ask. Yeah, the employers. It depends on who is working with the employers. We ask all employers who employ migrants from India, from Brazil or other countries to have an intercultural workshop with their teams, because the teams have to know what are the points where we have to help and assist our new colleagues. So we always conduct seminars for the teams to introduce about and then give them some informations about the cultural differences or the points where we know, okay, this can be a little bit difficult. And so the team, the existing team, is prepared to help the new colleagues to introduce properly into the team. This is, I think, this is necessary for every employer, because normally in healthcare professions, there's a certificate in Germany that obliges the employer to pay for the process. So the costs of the process should not be at the side of the migrant worker. Everything, including language training, should be paid by the employer or his agency. And so the employer invests a lot of money, and for the employer, it's very important to make the migrant worker feel comfortable and welcome into the team. And so our clients always conduct seminars for their existing teams.
Yeah, add on that, just a second, add on that would be, that's the reason why we offer also the exams, the TELC exams, the way we offer them. Yeah, so we are very, very practice orientated. Yeah, and that culture perspective, you know, the work environment perspective that you're gonna confront in Germany. Yeah, they are already embedded within the exams. So we have exams concerning directly, specifically the healthcare system. We have exams concerning the technology engineering system. So we are, in this case, as we say in German, berufsorientiert. So practice centered. Yeah, concerning to key industries. Yeah, that we see the most in this the most desired needs. Yeah, to attract foreign skilled workers.
Sorry.
And
I
one
would
more
just like to
question.
add a quick thing here. Recently, I came across a course that's being offered in a Volkshochschule. Volkshochschule is Adult Education Center. There are many, like it's a directly government-run initiative. and they are offering a course to know about Indian culture, and it's for the people who are working with a lot of Indians, and it's for them to understand, because, like, there are a few things at times you're not being impolite, but that's how culturally you are raised, and that's why you're behaving like that. So you're right, it has to be also, because there'll be a lot of Indians who will work in Germany, or for that matter even Vietnamese, or, like, all from all the countries. And as a part of the learning, we learn and we go, but it's also important to talk to Germans about it, and that's why, like, I just wanted to mention, because I came across this course and it was being offered for the Germans about knowing Indian culture.
One small question to from for Dr. Surana. Your education, university degrees after hello, yeah, your bachelor's in BA in German or master's in German. Even if somebody goes through this exam, still they have to get the Goethe certification or TAL certification for the visa process.
Uh, yes. Um, because though I would say last 4 5 years, our part-time courses, the German language courses are as per the Common European Reference Framework. So there is an A1 exam, A2, B1, B2. However, from the German side, some most of the people are asking for Goethe or TEL, but there are certain universities which are accepting our A1 level certificates, because that was the demand. It was a very organic way we shifted to this. Earlier, it was just certificate in German, diploma in German, these kind of courses. But about 5 6 years ago, we add the language proficiency level, because the students asked for it, that please, if you give us such certificates, it will be valid. So with that, it has become very, very easy for the students to show the level wherever it is not absolutely mandatory to have other things. Yeah.
Hello. So my question is like, which is the best school to learn German? Like when I went to Germany, I could I suffered from the language. So which is the best school?
That's a very sweet question, and a very tough one also, maybe the toughest. But where do you want to learn German? In India or in Germany?
In India.
Yeah, then somebody from Delhi, in Delhi, right? So I think Delhi
Yes.
Public School has German courses. There are many German schools here which are offering German courses. Maybe somebody from the audience who's from Delhi can help out. Yeah, you can maybe.
First, you have to tell me which class you are in. And you study in Delhi? Where are you studying? In Noida. In Noida, almost all schools are offering German. So if you plan to be in a school in German, the best is to be in schools in German, and they in schools which have German, and you will be able to do a good job. There are a lot of competitions and a lot of things where you can practice your DPS Noida or Pathways or Sri Ram School. Yeah, and all are best schools. Yeah, you have to be the best student. Okay. Welcome. I had a question also to Frau Surana. That in the universities, sorry, in the universities, when you certify certain at C1 level or B1 level, so does this also have a certification for teachers? I mean, do you give a certification that the teacher there's a teach it's a she's a teacher trainer or a teacher, something like that? Do you have a certification like that for teachers which can be used in schools or
So exactly, that's what we are heading towards.
Okay.
Our bachelors and masters already have different courses for didactics or German as a foreign language. So automatically when you pass out, it will be in your transcript
Yeah.
that you have done that. However, for a very, very concrete certificate, we are heading towards it.
Okay.
For that kind of certification, we are also working with Goethe and German Academic Exchange Service and with
Okay.
Pune University to come
Okay.
out together with something like this.
Yeah.
But yes, very soon you will see that certification.
Yeah, that
Yes.
is something
Yeah.
which is required. And IGNU, I think they have stopped, right? Anyways, we can talk about it
IGNU we
later on.
used to have, it still has, but I hear that
It's
there
stopped,
are
I think.
challenges
Yeah,
there.
yeah. Okay, okay. Thank you, thank you.
Is there anybody else who would like to?
Hello, am I audible? Yeah. Hello, I'm audible. Yeah. Good afternoon, panelists. My name is Sheetal Shrine. I have a hello. Am I audible now?
Very close.
Okay. My name is Sheetal Shrine. I have a question for Professor Surana. Like when one moves to Germany for for work or higher studies, what are the cultural shocks that Indians face, and how can they overcome that? Are you able to hear the question? Should I repeat it?
You're talking about asking about the cultural shocks.
Yeah, that Indians face, and how can we overcome that?
Yeah. So, difficult question because I'm so much eingedeutscht. So, to get the, but yeah, from whatever experiences students have had, etc. I think one of the things is that when on the roads they see more cars than people. Then cultural shock is also when you go to a restaurant and you have to each one pays for oneself rather than one person taking over the bill. Like that, it is very, very individual. But and how to overcome it? That's a very, very pertinent question. Most Indians, they tend to make ghettos and stick around the Indian community, which I feel very, very, it's a very unfortunate thing because you have to mix with the Germans, but because of being the comfort zone is more with your own people, that's a little, I would suggest to the young people here to try and mix more with the Germans because that's how you get to know the language, the culture better, whereas sticking to the Indian community doesn't give you that kind of exposure to German language and culture, which you are looking for. I mean, why did you go there? You could have stayed here, you know. So you have to integrate yourself, yeah, and make efforts towards that.
This is what we see very often that, for example, nurses that come to Germany, normally an employer, a big hospital does not recruit one nurse from India, normally 10 or 20, and then they live in an apartment house and every evening they are eating together and only and then speaking Malayalam or Hindi or whatever. And it's better to go out and mix with the Germans, meet with colleagues and speak a little bit German, even if it's more complicated at the beginning, but it will speed up the language abilities immediately in a very short time.
So I would just quickly like to add one point here, like myself, like as an Indian who moved to Germany. Initially, for me, it was important to find out, okay, where are all the Indians living? Are there any Indians in my colony? That was one of the important criteria. Okay, there are too many Indians. Okay, maybe I can try to, find an apartment here. But after having lived there for 5 years, I realized what is important that I get connected, I stay connected to my Indian roots, but I also get exposure to international culture. So meetups, you have weekly meetups. It's not just Germans. It's like people from all over the world. In a city like Frankfurt, you would meet people from all over the world, and that's what moving abroad does to you. You are open to so many cultures, and that's your personal growth. So this comes from within. You realize, okay, there is so much that I can learn when I've moved abroad. So that's my personal
Yeah,
experience.
I'll just add a quick this thing. My nephew, one nephew, is an IT expert in Berlin, and he recently shared he has joined a hiking club or a hiking camp. So that's where he meets so many different cultures and Germans, etc. So it's good to join such organizations and clubs.
And
Many options.
yeah, and that is the good thing of have a German certificate. Yeah. So to have the proficiency in German language, yeah, because you know that you have a B1 or you have a B2. So you should not be scared of speaking or of making the connections because you already have learned that. You have demonstrated that to yourself with the certificate, right? From that on, you just can go, yeah, just you can trust on yourself and be part of the German culture, right?
Yeah, hi. Myself Dhanesh, and I represent one TELC exam center in Pune by CAS Duisburg. I just would like to add here what Mr. Carlesso had just said. Firstly, TELC offers digital exams, and that's why the results are really faster. The students are really happy about that. Secondly, for the listening part, one has to attempt the listening part through headphones, and therefore they are feeling really really happy and comfortable, because that's how they are able to crack the listening part really quickly and without any hassles. So thanks to telc and the digital exams, it's really helping all Indian students. So that's I just like to add over here. And one more point, actually, the do's and don'ts. Sometimes our Indian students go there, and or even uh, the workers, or even the experts from India, uh, we have the knack of, or we are used to say, for example, if a German asks me a question, are you hungry? We generally say, yes, a bit, I don't know. There is no ifs buts. I don't know, I have little bit of hunger. There is only yes or no. And this is the same pattern everywhere, even if if you are interacting with any German counterpart, may it be in a formal meeting or in an informal meetup. So please remember that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Our time is up. I'm sorry, there is one more question, but let's see if we can ask quickly one more question. But we want to finish on time. So, quick question, and that will.
Hi, I'm Abbas. Just to give background of my questions, I normally watch Netflix because it offers me movies from different countries, though translated in English, giving me a perspective of different culture. I know the movies cannot cover every culture, but a bit of it. But the question why I'm asking here is why I often don't see German movies translated to here. Hardly I've seen one German movies translated to English available on Netflix.
Netflix, there are German movies. And that's another portal called ARD Mediathek, where you will find many, many German things.
Translated
Yes.
to English,
ARD.
translated in English.
No,
So with
no,
subtitles.
no, but they have subtitles. Yeah, yeah.
Sorry,
News captions, subtitles.
Yeah. So yeah, so there are very very good German movies, yes. So but yeah, but I must say there are very great Indian movies as well. So I'm very passionate about Indian movies. I, mu- I must be very honest.
Yeah, so basically, I feel German movies are not as much popular as, for example, Korean, or like the movies that are trending and they will be translated in English, or with subtitles. But yeah, these two apps are very helpful for everybody. ARD and ZDF. These apps have a lot of German content to offer. Mubi, yeah, MUBI. Great. So with this, I think there are some open questions, but we can discuss them. I have, as I said, you can all come to Goel's stand and we can discuss a few questions if you have any. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, panelists. Thank you, Delhi World Book Fair, for this platform. And we are finishing on time, German punctuality, right? So have a nice evening ahead. Have a good time in the fair. Bye.
Thank you.
So it is wonderful in an highly influenced society like ours, where there is singularly unequal